nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Can't you see I'm white and nerdy? Look at me, I'm white and nerdy.
Hey everyone, Frosty Knives here, and I haven't done an update in a while, mainly because I haven't gotten a lot in a while, due to recent move and lack of funds, which will happen when you quit your job. But I have managed to gather up a few things, a few items and odds and ends and stuff. So let's get to it. A couple of weeks ago, I went to a flea market. And a couple of things about the flea markets down here. They're all outdoors. Apparently no one down here has heard of an indoor flea market or has been to an indoor flea market or what the case may be, but seeing as how we virtually have no winters, all of the flea markets are outside, which makes them unbelievably hot. And everything is outside under tarps, and then all of the humidity gets under the tarps, and you sweat your ass off for a while. But anyway, so I went to a flea market. I did not make it through the whole flea market because it was too hot, and, you know, my name is Frosty, and I melt in any temperature that's slightly above. So, I also found out that the flea markets down here, it's off season. Now that's different from where I'm from. See, from May to August, that's flea marketing season in the summertime in the north, because it's the summertime, and you know, the rest of the year you're covered under snow and ice and various other things that Mother Nature likes to leak down on you. But apparently down here, the summertime is off-season for the flea markets, and the flea market season is something like October to March. I guess that coincides with tourist season and snowbird season. So I went to a flea market. It was ungodly hot. It was apparently off-season, which would explain, from what I've been told, why there weren't that many vendors and there weren't a lot of good things there. There was a lot of, like, kitschy, junky, knick-knack, glass crap stuff there. So I did not make it through the flea market. I begged off halfway through, and I went home. My wife stayed because we went there with a couple of other people. They wound up bringing her home, but I wound up saying, the hell with it. There's nothing here. I'm too hot and miserable, and, you know, I'd only been there for like an hour. And there was no toys. There was a couple of Transformers. There was a guy who had a couple of Transformers. They were all broken. And a couple of, you know, a lot of people, they just throw their stuff into a, what do you call it there? Into like a bin, and it's all broken stuff. But anyway, not to say that anybody came away empty-handed while I was at home crying underneath an air conditioner and wondering why it was so hot out here. My wife actually did pick something up at the flea market. So we picked up Game of the Year edition Batman Arkham City for $5. So, and that's a really good deal. This is, you know, this is with all the extra stuff, all the bonus content, all the downloadable content. So the game came out at $60. If you were to buy all of the download content when it came out, that's another $40. So I got this for $5, and apparently the reason why this is in such good condition is because it was from a vendor who was selling his own personal collection, and he was only selling a few items at a time. So she picked this up for $5, and I've been playing the hell out of it, and I have to say that this is probably one of the best if not the best, Batman games out there, and one of the best sandbox games that you will ever play. This game is amazing. Pick it up and play the hell out of it because it's really good. So that's that. We picked up a couple of odds and ends in the video DVD department. Picked up 30 Days of Night from Big Lots for $3. This is a really good vampire movie. This was also based on a graphic novel, I do believe. So it comes from a comic, but this is really good. As we all know, Alaska goes through extremes, long periods of daylight and long periods of nighttime, and so this is a vampire movie. It takes place in Alaska during like 30 days of night. So if you haven't seen it, it's really good. What else do we buy? There's a store down here called Books A Million. They call it BAM. Books A Million. And it's like FYE, only better. And they have a lot of DVDs and a lot of CDs. They have a lot of video, Blu-rays. They have a lot of books. They have some games and some figures, toys, and whatnot. It's a really big store. It's really nice. And I picked this up. I have a card there. So we picked this up at Books A Million, 25th anniversary edition of The Last Unicorn for $5. So this is a really good movie, and all music is performed by the band America. Very nice. So if you have a Books A Million around you, it may behoove you to at least go and take a look at it. And then finally at a Walmart in the $5 bin. I don't know why I bought it, but it's kitschy. It's neat. If anybody remembers it, this is the complete series of Street Sharks. This was a cartoon back in the day, late 80s, early 90s. And this was about 4 guys who got turned into sharks, and they were crime fighters. And, you know, so for $5 for 40 episodes, 14 hours, you know, it's just, you know, they're all in these little individual sleeves. Kind of nice. So, that's that on the DVD front. The toy front, I haven't had a lot of success in the flea market area, or in the thrift shop area, or in the consignment shop or Goodwill area. Where I have sort of had success, I guess, is in your chain stores. So some things here, I've been finding a lot of things from TJ Maxx. Now that I found out that the TJ Maxxes down here are a heck of a lot better than they were up in Vermont, and plus there's a lot of them. And there's a lot of Walmarts, and there's a lot of Targets, and there's a lot of Goodwills. I mean, like, there's literally a 5, maybe more, about 5 that I know of off the top of my head, Goodwills in my area within a 20-minute drive. There's 2 Targets, there's a couple Walmarts, there's a Best Buy, there's a whole bunch of TJ Maxxes. There's a couple Kmarts. I mean, it's everywhere. You go 20 minutes in like 20 minutes to a half hour any direction, and you're gonna hit. You're like, oh, there's another Walmart. There's another Walmart. There's a little Walmart over there. So it's good. You get options. So and I've also been finding a lot of things at Once Upon a Child. Once Upon a Child is consistently the only resale shop that I have had consistent luck with. So, what did I find? Anything good? I found this at Once Upon a Child. This is Transformers Dark of the Moon Mech Tech Sideswipe. I paid $4 for this. This did come in the package. Brand new in the package. I've ripped it out of the package and played with it. So I picked this up at Once Upon a Child for $4. That's not too bad. I'm beginning to kind of like these movie figures. They're kind of neat. You know, it's one I didn't have. There's a Sideswipe. He's pretty cool. And then I picked up, which was kind of odd, for $6. Let me show you the actual thing. This is from Transformers Dark of the Moon. And this is probably the biggest Optimus Prime they ever created. It's 22 inches tall. But here he is right here. This is what they call the ultimate, what do they call him? Ultimate Optimus Prime. And that's him in truck mode. And then that's him in robot mode. And basically, the cab is the robot. And then the trailer turns into his, well, they call it the Omega armor. But I'm going to call it the Apex armor. So you can take the cab, turn it into the robot, and then you take the robot and you turn it into, let me fold this in half. You turn it into, and you put it into the armor, into the trailer, and there he is. That's what he looks like in robot mode inside his trailer, and he's 22 inches tall. The reason I show you that is because I found half of it at Once Upon a Child. So for $6, and it is transformed, and this sucker is very heavy, but here is the Ultimate Optimus Prime trailer. And here is his gun, which still works. It still has this light and sound gimmick, which is kind of neat. And then, let me actually see if I can pull it off for you. So I paid $6 for, it's incomplete. It's missing the trailer. Here's the gun that still works. And the reason I want to take it off was because it has lights and sound. So there's a light there. There's a light there. And then when you push this button forward, it makes more sounds. That's kind of neat. And this thing stores on the bottom of the trailer, and then this trailer sort of, it's basically a shell, and it opens up and folds out into the armor. And part of the reason that I bought it is because, I'm just going to put this back in the, store it back under here. Even though it is complete, even though it is incomplete, part of the reason that I bought it was because it came with instructions for the Transformers Dark of the Moon Ultimate Optimus Prime. These are pretty. This is the instruction booklet for this figure. This thing is massive. It's virtually unheard of to get the instruction sheet when you're buying something that's used like that. In all of 99.9% of the time, whenever you buy figures, either at a thrift shop, flea market, consignment store, yard sale, garage sale, wherever, you're not going to get the instructions. And I've seen people sell instructions alone for $5-6. So all I need to do is find his cab, and if I can get the cab at a decent price, I will have a complete Ultimate Optimus Prime. And this guy, retail, not aftermarket value, retail. If you were to go and drop the money at a Walmart or a Toys R Us when he was being sold, this guy went for $100. Between $90 and $100, they sold this at retail. So I picked up 3/4 of it for $6. And now if I can just find his cab, then I'll at a good price, I'll be in good shape. So if anybody watching, if you have an Ultimate Optimus Prime cab in good shape, not for parts, in good shape that you want to sell and get rid of, comment below. Let me know. Maybe we can work something out. So, okay, so I showed you that, and I showed you this. So then what else do we have? The rest of the stuff is stuff that I found in boxes. So let's see. At TJ Maxx, I found Transformers Prime, Ultra Magnus, and I picked him up for $12.99. And here he is, right here, in vehicle mode. Here is Ultra Magnus from Transformers Prime. I picked him up at TJ Maxx for $12.99. I picked up at TJ Maxx. It's the first time I had seen this guy. I hadn't seen him in Vermont, but I saw him down here. Transformers Prime, Cyberverse, Ironhide. And I picked him up for $5.99. And for those of you who may not know, this is a repainted, scaled down version of this guy. This was Transformers Prime Sergeant Cup, the deluxe version that everybody squawked about, everybody complained about. Everybody said, oh, this doesn't look like Cup. This looks like Ironhide. He should have been painted red and called Ironhide because this doesn't look like Cup. Well, guess what, you whiners? You got him. Here he is. Scaled down, so they're still going to complain because he is smaller than this guy, so the whiners are still going to complain. But here you are. You've got a scaled down, painted red version of Sergeant Cup called Ironhide. So quit your bitching. That's what I say to you people. Quit your bitching. What else did I buy? Now, funny story. I picked this up. Transformers Prime Thundertron. This is one I've been wanting for a while because he is a pirate. He's neither an Autobot nor a Decepticon. He is a pirate, and he is a Star Seeker, and he turns into a blue lion, like a frost lion. And I found this at a Toys R Us, and I paid $30 for him. And a week later, I found him out at TJ Maxx for $12.99. Oh, don't I feel like an asshole? So, I bought this when I first got here, before I had started exploring. So the lesson that I learned is check. I'm not used to checking. I'm used to going to one TJ Maxx, one Toys R Us, one Walmart, and one Kmart. I'm used to going to like 4 places and then go, oh, well, if Toys R Us has it, I'll buy it there because I'm never going to see it again. And so I'm in that mentality of when you see something that you really want, you buy it because you're never going to see it again. So you shell out the money. And down here, I don't have to shell out the money because I could have picked this guy up for this price. I found him at TJ Maxx for $12.99. So I have learned a valuable lesson. And the lesson is look around and see what's out there and go places because there's a lot more stuff to do down here and a lot more things to see. All right. What else did we find? We found, and this was at a Walmart, but I picked him up because I had never seen him before and I've never seen him since, and I really, really like him. Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Dreadwing. And he's really cool. He's one of my favorites from the show. It's the Decepticon Dreadwing, and he turns into like a blue futuristic jet. And there's his robot mode. And at some point, I'm going to keep looking because at some point, I want to see if I can find his twin brother, Skyquake. I haven't seen Skyquake, and this was the first time that I had seen this one here. So this is a Beast Hunters Dreadwing. And so then there's a store down here. There's a lot of individual consignment shops and thrift stores, and most of them are just called thrift stores, or they're called consignment shops. Not a lot of unique names around here. But there's a store down here not far from my house. It's called Tuesday Morning. It's this very weird name. I had never heard of it before, but it's sort of like a Big Lots, and they have a little bit of everything. Well, they do have a toy section. And so at Tuesday Morning, I found a Transformers Dark of the Moon Mech Tech. I found an Air Raid, which I had never really seen before in any stores. And I found him and I picked him up for, can you see that? Maybe you can't. It's $9.99. So I picked him up and he's still in the package. This is what he looks like. He's sort of a reconnaissance plane. There's his radar dish, turns into a shield. But I had never seen this one before, and I kind of liked it, and I hemmed and I hawed, but I picked it up for $10. So that was really good. I'm starting to know where I can go and what places kind of have things and what places kind of don't have things. Like the thrift shops really don't have anything. The Goodwills really don't have anything. The TJ Maxx's have been good. The Once Upon a Child has been good because they'll buy toys, and their toys are in good shape because they make sure they're not broken. And so this Tuesday, I keep calling it Ruby Tuesday, like the restaurant. So this Tuesday morning had something, so I'll go check it out again. And if it has something again, then maybe I'll put it on my regular stock list. And finally, I just got this yesterday, again at a TJ Maxx, but I got it for $20. They're still selling it for $30, and this is Transformers Prime. This is the Weaponizer Optimus Prime. This is the big guy. They made two of these. They made a Weaponizer Optimus Prime and a Weaponizer Bumblebee. And TJ Maxx had them both, actually. And I don't like Bumblebee. I really kind of hate Bumblebee. And this is the one that I really wanted. So I bought the Optimus Prime. And I bought it for $20. $19.99. This is still brand new in stores. You can get this for $30. But I picked that up. So that's really all that I have. And now I can take them out of the box and start playing with them, because I didn't want to do that until I did this video. That's why everything is still in the package. But now I can start playing with them. So that's all I have. That's my update. I got to be careful about what I buy, because number one, I have no money, and number two, I'm going to quickly fill up what little space that I do have here. So until next time, keep it real, guys.